All right. Okay, we're live. I believe we're live. Hope everyone can hear me. Yep, we are live. All right, let me adjust this right quick. And cool, cool. We're live. Okay, tonight, you guys, we're going to discuss spiritual awakenings. Have you ever had a spiritual awakenings? If you have, put it down in the comment section. We have a special guest tonight. She should be coming on. Her name is Noreen Colt. Um, she should be. Let's see. Uh, she should be coming on soon. Um, and we're going to have a discussion about a spiritual awakening. Have you ever had a spiritual awakening? What is a spiritual awakening? Some people don't know what a spiritual awakening is. They may have had one and they didn't know it. Or if you did have one, would you mind just try to share it? Share it in the comment section and let's have a discussion tonight about spiritual awakenings and you're not the only one. I had mine. Um, Actually, it's kind of like simultaneously throughout the years I've been having this awakening, but it was really an awakening. This year, it was off the charts awakening. Let's see, can I turn the camera around? Try to make it more better. No, it's better sideways. Yeah, it's wider shot. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that. We were rushing. And her name is Noreen Colt. Try to have her come on and we can discuss spiritual awakenings. Mine was earlier this year. You ever had a voice shout at you, but it didn't shout at you from the outside, but on the inside? Like it was a lady today. I don't have permission to say her name, so I won't say her name. But she said that yes, she had a voice speak to her, and she knew it was either her angels or her higher self, and it said um, something to the sound of um, "What are you going to do now?" You know. But usually when it asks you that, it's really telling you something like you should do this, and you're resisting it. So it's like, what are you going to do now? Um, Mine actually yelled at me two times. I remember I had this inner voice yell, Lance. One time I was, you know how you fall asleep on the couch, TV's on, and it wasn't no scary movie. It was in the middle of the day, like a Saturday or in the middle of the day, and you just having just a slow day, a lazy day, and you fall asleep on the couch, and all of a sudden this loud voice said, Lance, like that, yelled at me. And now hindsight 2020, you know what it is. And then earlier this year, it said a loud voice again, yelled at me. And since then, my whole life changed, for the better. Scary at times, but for the better. It was an amazing experience, to feel your crown chakra starts expanding and you start meeting a lot of spiritual people by way of serendipity, if you will. It's like serendipity or something, that you meet these people. And they're awesome people that I have met over the time. Um, and we wanted to know tonight, have you had a spiritual awakening? If so, what was your spiritual awakening? Did you have anything that spoke to you from the inside? And let me get my computer out. And said, a voice came to you. Okay. And if you have, put it down in the comment section. Okay, I have a guest. Her name is Noreen Colt. Noreen Russo Colt. And she's going to speak about her spiritual awakening and how it, how it affected her, and answer some questions also. We'll answer some questions if you have some questions about it. It can be scary. It can be scary because, it's hard to explain, and you can't just talk to someone, anyone, and say, "Hey, have you ever had this happen?" You levitating over yourself, watching yourself speak, stuff like that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get Noreen in the room and get her and she can get her water in so she can get in the room. All right, let's add to screen, and I believe she's on.
Hi.
Hey, there we go.
Hello. How are you,
All
Sunshine?
right. How you doing, Sunshine?
I am fantabulous.
Good, 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 good. So
So excited
we're
to be here.
yeah, we're discussing spiritual awakening. Um,
Mm.
some people, don't know what that is. What the hell is a spiritual awakening? Or they're like, I think I had one. Not sure. I think I had one because a lot of times we get in our head when we try to rationalize, like, did what happened happen? Did I hear what I heard? Something like that. When
Well, it's kind of like saying, did I have an orgasm? I'm not sure if I did.
yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. If you did or you didn't. Just put it that way.
That's right.
Just like with the organ, did I? No, no. It's just like raining. If it's raining outside or not. If you're not sure, just walk outside. Wait for count to five, and then walk back in. Are you wet? Did it come from the sky? It's raining.
That can
It's
go
just like
multiple ways, but yes.
that. Yeah. So, Noreen, how would you describe? If someone came up to you and asked you, "What is a spiritual awakening? What is that?" What would you say?
I would say it is you remembering who you are deep down internally.
Mm,
So, outside of everything that has been taught to you by governments, by society, by education, by our family, by schooling, all of that, and then all of a sudden something comes to you that is natural, that is organic, that is comes from within, and
uh-huh.
you don't even know how to describe it, but it might even just go against everything that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I woke up and had a dream one night, and I dreamt of my deceased aunt. And
Mm-hmm.
I woke up that next morning with the ability to feel things to a level I've never felt before, which I found very, very confusing because now all of a sudden I'm feeling like a spirit. And I would get the chills up the spine and I would feel chills down my arms, but I had no idea what I was feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very confusing. So, for most people who are experiencing awakening, are probably more confused than anything else. Because, like, I am feeling things, I'm sensing things, I'm knowing things or hearing things, and I have no logical explanation to it. And that's what it is. It defies all logic, it defies everything that you would know from the current reality that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So the awakening is really awakening to your internal clock. It's awakening to your own internal divinity and all of your own special abilities and all of your talents and all of that has been there all this time, but just literally sleeping. It's kind of like, wake up, guys. Look at this is your truth. Wake up, rise and
So,
shine.
so would you say yes that it's more so like a awakening to your higher self?
Absolutely.
Andrea, hello, Andrea. Andrea says, "Hi, guys. Look at Andrea." I love her pose. She's like, "How you and your pets doing? How you and your dogs doing? Today is National Dog Day, by the way. It's National Dog Day." Andrea has a few dogs. She's over on the West Coast in California. So, um, write down in the comments how your dog's doing. How the dogs are doing. It's National Dog Day. And have you, Andrea, had a spiritual awakening? Have you? She said, "Hi, Noreen."
Hi. Nice to meet you, Andrea.
Yeah, yeah. And Andrea's a beautiful person. She's a real cool person too. I love her live. She's pretty cool, you know. And but yeah, and she has a book coming out, you guys. She has a book coming out also, dealing with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and
Oh, my kind of girl.
it's so good, doggies. She have seven doggies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Lucky number 7.
yeah, yeah. All right, Rihanna. She said, I feel like I'm drawn to your lives, videos. So weird. Actually, the word weird, when you look it up, it means supernatural. So it's something very superstitious coming up, you know. So it actually means supernatural, which you can equate to magical. You know, it's the reason why we're kindred spirits. So it's the reason why you get drawn to it. Oh, she's added one more on. Andrea says she's yes, and soon 8 doggies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the discussion tonight is, are we having, we just switched sides. We switched
I
sides.
noticed that.
That was a slip. No, but anyway, the question is, she said, "What's?" That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, and she said, "Oh, switch." No, it wasn't nothing superstitious going on up there. I just accidentally clicked the wrong button, and it switched, you know, sides, like, because you can have it different type of ways. So it's okay, you know. Maria Ann said, "That's what I was thinking." Like, what? So, but
Well,
yeah, we're
sometimes it is good to see it from the other side because you get a
yeah,
whole new perspective, right?
yeah. No, we're kindred spirits. And Anna Maria Anna, and I'm saying her name backwards. You know. So, but have you, any one of you, have had a spiritual awakening? Had something spiritual? And by the way, you can like and share this. You can share this with your Facebook page if you want to invite someone on or something. You can message them, or you can just hit share. You know, and you can share it to whoever you want to. By the way. Um, So, but have you had any spiritual awakenings? Put it down in the comment section. Let's discuss it. My spiritual awakening, I mentioned that earlier today. You know, it was, I had it before, and it yelled at me, Lance. But this year in February, it yelled at me, phone. You know, but it's when you know that it's something besides this physical reality that we're kind of raised that if I can't see it, touch it, you know, and feel it, you know, I can pick it up or touch it or something like that, well, then it's not real. It's not real. And we overlook that we are infinite beings in a body. We're we're more than what we thought we were, you know, what we were. And we realized that, hey, we were sold a bad bill of goods. You know, we were, you know, something is real when you can hear it, but you can't see it. But you know it's there, you
Yes.
can feel it, you know, within you. And it can freak you out. So that's why we're having that discussion tonight. That's up, brother. That's
Oh,
son.
that's my 18-year-old son behind me. He doesn't realize he's on Facebook Live.
Andrea,
So,
Andrea said, "Cool, supernatural equals weird." Yep, yep. It's that tonight. We're getting to in some weird stuff tonight. So, she said,
yes,
Anna
get
Maria
into
said,
the
"I'm
weird.
waiting." Yeah, I'm waiting. I think I'm stuck. So, what do you think you're stuck in? It'll lead you out. We can probably can help you get let out. So what? Get you unstuck. In other words, Andrea says yes.
So, how do we get unstuck is actually a
Yeah.
really good
So how?
question.
Yeah. How do we get unstuck? What are you stuck with, um, Maria Ann? Um, how are you? What are you stuck with? If you don't mind sharing. Andrea says yes. I am a divine self. That's right, girl. And
That's right.
the spiritual awakening. Yes, yes. No, she said it comes to the. I put this up. She said it's come. It comes the epiphany, the enlightenment. Yeah,
Yes.
that just that inner knowing. You know, you can call it women intuition, but it's the
Mm,
intuition that you can't. You haven't been educated on it. No one told you about it, but you just know. It's just like you just know that this. I just know you can't explain it. You run out of adjectives to try to explain it. Then she said, and you have a choice. Yeah, yeah, you do have a choice. You can ignore it. You can go by it. You have a choice.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people who are
Hmm.
experiencing awakening and have no idea what's going on, some of them try to ignore it. Some of them try to hit the snooze bar. Some of them, want to put their head back under the blankets. They're like, oh, no, that just freaked me out. I don't want to see that. And I actually have a cousin that awakened when she was living with me many years ago. And she woke up one night hearing with the ability of clairaudience, of hearing,
Hmm.
except she heard it not in her head. She heard it as if it was a voice from the outside in, as if someone was physically talking to her.
Hmm.
And she would tell me that the spirits are keeping her awake all night long. She can't go to sleep because they're constantly, she says, as soon as she turns out the lights and gets in bed, they just want to talk to her. And they want to talk to her because she's feeling relaxed. And ironically, this is when awakening and energy happens, when we let go, when we surrender, when we relax. Typically, when we are sleeping, is when
Hmm.
it comes most often. I mean, Lance, I know you shared that it woke you up out of a dead sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it
Yep.
is usually when we're not expecting it, when we're least expected, is when we are being shaken out of our bed, so to speak, and waking up.
Hmm.
So it
Well.
turns out that my cousin was hearing things at all kinds of time. I remember she was babysitting my kids. We were so young at the time that my 14-year-old was then still in a crib, and we had the baby monitor in the baby room, and my my then husband and I were out for dinner one night, and I get a call from her in complete fear, and she's freaking out. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what's the matter? She's like, I hear voices on the baby monitor. I'm like, oh, that's probably nothing. It's probably just, maybe a cross signal somewhere. It's probably picking. She says, you don't understand, Marie. I'm hearing voices on the baby monitor. They are calling your children by name. And I said, really? I said, well, what are they saying? And she's like, well, one is telling Jared that he's going to do really good in karate tomorrow on his test. And the other one's telling Alex that he's going to sleep well and peacefully in the night. And he's protected. And I'm like, Nicole, do you have any idea what you're hearing? She's like, I don't know.
Hmm.
It's freaking me out. It's freaking me out. I said, you're hearing their guardian angels talk to them before they fall asleep.
Oh man, giving them confidence on the karate lessons and everything like that. And I keep hacking her name, and she said, "You keep saying my name wrong." Look at this.
Marianne, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I just read it so fast. I'm like, because I'm reading other, comments at the same time. Marianne, I am sorry. She had, don't stick your dog on me. I'm sorry. Type in the comments if you forgive me. Yeah, if you don't forgive me,
It's a
say I don't
southern
forgive you.
accent. Just excuse him.
Yeah. So, do not charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head. They can get lost up there sometimes. Um, Andrea says, um, "Are you ready, Source?" Ask. Yeah, yeah. It asks. Then she put, but when Source, but then Source, TGE, and what does that mean?
The
I don't care.
universe. That's a typo. I got that.
Okay.
Send
Oh,
to
the
you.
universe.
Bigger
It's
message.
okay. I do it all the time too. The universe sends a bigger wake up call. Yeah, sometimes it's like he may throw a pebble at you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a pebble. Just can you get the message? Just a little pebble, pebble. And because we just so busy and so much noise, we gotta have so much get our attention. Then okay, let me get a rock and throw it at you to get your attention. Now we're still busy. We're concerned about this or that or and the other, and then okay, let me get a brick, throw it at you, and if you still keep playing that game, it will get a boulder and throw it at you. You know.
Yes. And what happens is that we have typically four bodies. We have the spiritual body that's all the way out here, and then the
Mhm.
emotional body, the mental body, and the physical body. And we usually get the first hint when we're in our spiritual body. And it's like, oh, that was cute. Maybe it was a dream or something that came to your meditation. And then you're like, you dismiss it. That's just unrealistic. That doesn't fit in my real world. How can, nah, that's craziness. How can I, nah. And you just dismiss the whole thing. And then you hear it somewhere or sense it somewhere in your mental body. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, wow, what a crazy thought. Where the heck did that come from? And you might mull it over for a few moments, but again, it doesn't jive with the real world. It doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
in the reality that's created around us. So it's dismissed. And then somewhere along the line, it hits the emotional body. Now we're paying a little bit more attention to what's going on. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, I feel that heartache, or I feel such anxiety, or maybe wow, I am feeling like so sick, I don't even want to go to work tomorrow. It's just, the thought of going to work tomorrow just makes me completely sick. And we're paying attention to it. But again, it doesn't fit into our current reality. So we dismiss it. It doesn't fit in with our belief systems or what we've been taught all our lives. And
Mm-hmm.
that eventually hits you in the physical body. And then you have no choice but to look at it because now it's hardcore in your physical world. And that's when you get kicked out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, and then when you look back, hindsight, you go, oh, that's okay. I get it. I get it. It's always 2020, but Andrea says, you know, many
Yes.
spiritual beings are, spoke to at three. And if you think about the time, 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's usually if you have a newborn baby, most of the time they're up around that time. In the morning. They're up around that time, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. They're right there up. And I always thought, since this awakening, I always thought, is it like the angels speaking to them, or their past, like your past relatives, like maybe your grandmother, your great grandmother, everyone is speaking to the child. That's why it's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Be still and know, that I am God, that the I am in you, that is a spiritual being. You are more spiritual than what you think." And when is the time that we're still? That's when the body, when you study the body, it's really, it goes through stages, settling down as you go to sleep. And it hit that cruising altitude, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
around about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's when we get that 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning spiritual wake up call.
Well, when you think about it, it's really when you're kind of like in your own twilight. And 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning is said to be when the veil is at its thinnest, meaning the veil that covers us from the three-dimensional world that we live in and the higher dimensions, the fourth, fifth, sixth dimensions, whatever, on the other side of that veil. So when it's the thinnest is when we actually access that. And it's usually when we're most relaxed. It's when we are in our deepest REM sleep so that we're able
Hmm.
to connect to that energy at that point.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say this on the sidebar that Mary Ann, so
You
yes,
got it
that's her
right.
name, and she, and I hope she forgives me. I will get it right. I don't know. I mean, it's spelled perfectly, like how it sounds, but uh, you know, there we go again, But Andrea says, yeah, it makes time for the quiet moments as God whispers and the world is loud. Yeah, we
Hmm.
constantly, it's loud music, loud this, that, And when we're still, that's why meditation is so important. It's therapeutic.
Hmm.
It's the time that we can slow down the brain, slow it down. Because we're thinking, oh, we got to pay the light bill, we got to do this, we got to go to the grocery store, we have this to-do list, or I have a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock, and all this stuff going on in our head. But when you 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, usually that's when you hit that cruising altitude, and like Noreen said, the veil is there. Um, is that what they call the witching hour?
Yes, it's exactly why they call it the witching hour. And I
If
also
you,
want to share that we do
uh-huh.
have an opportunity for much more than just one awakening. We are awakening over and over and over again. I mean, I had my initial awakening close to 15 years ago, and
Uh-huh.
I am still experiencing new ones over and over again. New abilities, new talents, new things I didn't even think I can access
Mm-hmm.
or be a part of. So you're constantly awakening. But I am finding this with the current energies that's going on in the world right now, people are awakening on a massive degree. And they're awakening faster than ever before. And I told this to you once before, Lance. What may have taken me 15 years to learn and
Hmm.
get used to and acclimate to all that energy, the people who are awakening now are awakening and doing it in months. Like
Wow.
I've only known you for a few weeks and I'm like seeing huge differences in you in just over a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine where you're going to be 3 years from now. And that's what's going on with the people who are awakening now. So all of a sudden they're saying, this outside world doesn't seem to make any sense, but oh my goodness, all of a sudden I'm feeling this urge to do that, or I feel this, or
Hmm.
I could talk to dead people one day and I haven't been able to do it before. Everyone's awakening to different abilities at different times. But this is the time that we can awaken to our natural abilities, to know our divine truth.
Exactly. Um, I have another announcement to make. When we said her name right, she said, "Thank you, thank you," and then she said, "And I thank you so much, Marianne." I said, "I'm gonna give you a call." Thank you so much.
We love you, Marianne.
She loves me. She really loves me. Because I was like, she gonna put a dog on me. If I ever run into this woman, her dog is gonna be looking at me like in that picture, like, no, so you can't. You just really, really. That name is Mary, just without a Y, it's with an I, and it gets no simple. Really?
See, I, as in I am. So
Yeah,
she said,
yeah.
I am.
Oh, okay. Andrea says Noreen, yes. The many bodies. Um, and then she said, I need to hear that. Oh, I need to hear that. I got very sick not listening to the body. Yes, yes. The body talks to you. Can you give us some examples of things that, and then she said, almost died. Oh, almost died. Nope, 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 nope,
So,
nope. We got to be here for a
well, we're
while,
glad you're still here with us,
Yeah,
Andrea, because you got lots
yeah.
of work to do on this planet.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
but I can tell you, yes, the body does speak so definitively to us if we
Hmm.
pay attention. So, for example, I don't know if many people have read the Louise Hayes books, but she talks about how everything in your body is associated with something in your spiritual, mental, and emotional bodies. So,
Hmm.
for example, like if your knee is bothering you, well, the knee is a joint. A joint is something that is flexible, right?
Hmm.
Does a knee help you walk? Can you walk if your knee was so stiff like a stick?
No.
No. You need the knee to be flexible, right?
Yep. Yep.
So if your knee is bothering you or if your knee is locking up on you, it most likely means that you're not being flexible enough in life to walk forward. So now you have a point of
Mm.
reference. Now I can ask myself a few questions. Well, what is holding me back from walking forward? What is it that I really want but I haven't done because I'm too inflexible, I'm too rigid about it? And then you can play with the different sides because now we have the left side and the right side. The left side
Hmm.
represents our feminine energy and the right side represents our masculine. So if it's your left energy, maybe it's because you're not receiving or allowing yourself to receive to move forward. Like maybe we're just so stuck in our tunnel vision, we can't
Hmm.
even foresee anything else outside of that. And if it's your right knee, perhaps it's because you're not taking action to walk forward and be flexible in walking forward with action. So
Wow.
our body definitely tells us a lot. Like if you have a sore throat, it's most likely because you're not expressing yourself with
Hmm.
truth. If your sinuses are bothering you, it's most likely because you're working too hard and you haven't given yourself any playtime, and your inner child's looking for a play date. So all of our bodies does tell us everything that's going on in your other bodies if we pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Now our body also tells us other things. It acts as our barometer, so to speak.
Hmm.
So when you are feeling tense and when you're feeling like your shoulders are weighed down, you might be carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, or you're feeling tense because something out there in the world is trying to tell you something's not right. But your body can also say, wow, this is amazing. I mean, when you do something so good, don't you feel all giddy inside? And you get goosebumps, or sometimes
Hmm.
people cry tears of joy. So your body's telling, yes, you're on the right track. Keep doing that.
And
So,
also, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but your body, like for me, I'm very empathic. Clairsentience is my first ability. So I learned the hard way that I would feel things, but I wouldn't necessarily know how or what I
Hmm.
was feeling. So,
Hmm.
for example, I know I shared this with Lance before, is that one of my awakenings was when I started feeling earthquakes. But I didn't know I was feeling earthquakes. And just like I think it was Andrea that was saying how she almost died, that she was really sick.
Hmm.
Well, for me, I was getting motion sickness all the time. And I couldn't understand why I was feeling motion sickness. Like, imagine being on an amusement park ride and not able to get off.
Hmm.
So I had actually gone to this place called Lilydale, New York, which is up near Buffalo, about 12 hours away from me. And there is a vortex of energy there. A matter of fact, the entire town of Lilydale are all mediums. They're all psychic mediums, the entire
Wow.
town. So I went there with a couple of friends, and oh my goodness, I was so sick. I had a migraine headache. I could not get out of this. I really thought I was going to go there and enjoy it, but I was standing on top of such a vortex of energy that took whatever new gift that I was awakening to and exploded it like 1,000-fold. So now I'm standing on the ground and I can feel waves of energy and shifting underneath my feet. Again,
Oh,
I have no idea what I'm sensing. I just know I'm sensing something, but have no way of defining it or having a point of reference because it's not like I can call a psychic hotline and say, hey, I'm feeling this, what's going on? I didn't have anyone to talk to. And then I remember sleeping that night and having a dream, and I was literally shaking in my dream. I was dreaming that I was in the middle of an earthquake. And I'm like, you know what, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to get up. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to my laptop and I Google earthquakes. And sure enough, there is an earthquake happening in Alaska at that very moment that was 5.5. I'm like,
wow.
okay, I got a clue now. So now I'm starting to put two and two together. I'm like, all right, sickness, what I'm feeling is related to earthquakes. Okay, but now I'm still feeling sick all the time. How do I make this stop? I know. So now I'm thinking to myself, I can ask. Wait, I have the power to ask. I have the power to ask what I'm sensing, and I can get the truth. So I started asking, all right, if I'm feeling an earthquake, where is it happening? When is it happening? What is it on the Richter scale? Is it something I have to send energy healing to Mother Earth? And as soon as I asked, I got the information.
Hmm.
I'm like, this is cool. I can predict earthquakes, but I'm still feeling sick. What do I do about this whole thing? I cannot go around the world living the rest of my life feeling sick all the time because, hey, I plan to be here for quite some time and Mother Earth is constantly shaking. And she's not going to stop anytime soon. She's been doing it for eons. So finally, I just had to have a sit down chit chat with Mother Earth. I said, look, Mother Earth, I love you dearly. I am always sending you healing love. And if I am not paying attention for any specific reason, I give you permission to give me a little zing, a little one, just a little tap, and stir me up if I need to. But other than that, I have no desire to feel this anymore. So I declared my boundaries. And I said, ever since that day, I never felt motion sickness again. But if I'm not paying attention, once in a while I'll be like watching Grey's Anatomy in the living room, and zing, I would feel that little wave of dizziness. And then I'm like, ooh, 6.8 in turkey. My family would look at me like, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it. I just got to send a little mother love energy. That's all. So, but that is part of the awakening process, is that you don't know. It really is like you're waking up and you just, some people are just lost in it because they're having all these new abilities, all these new things come to them, and they've never experienced it before in this lifetime. I'm sure you have in other lifetimes, but not in this lifetime. And it's a little hard to figure out. It's a little hard to navigate. So I hope people awaken. I hope people. That's actually one of my passions, to help people awaken and heal and be empowered, because I want them to be empowered so that they can figure this out for themselves in this awakening and all the awakenings coming forward.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, just to let you know, in case you feel like you're not being loved, Noreen. Yeah,
Hi,
I love
Andrea.
you both. And Marianne said, she's just laughing at me, and also said, so true, babies, lands, how true. But also, she let me know that she says, you only seen four of your videos, and I feel like you're talking directly to me. It's weird. It's because it's those little things, those little, aha moments. Now you can ignore it, and call bullshit on it, or you can dive into it and start. You can ask. You have permission to ask. I mean, you can ask, what is it that you're showing me? Because sometimes they use people, your guides, your angels. They use people to help wake you up. That you feel drawn to it. Like for example, Noreen. We haven't known each other a whole month yet, but it seems like we've been knowing each other forever. It started what, the first part of this month, right? Or
Yeah,
was
it
it
was earlier
was it
this month,
okay? All right,
and it
see,
started
but
with an
it
orb.
seems forever. It seems like we've been knowing each other forever. So um but it just started by way of serendipity on Facebook on the Tony Robbins site, and it was a picture of me. I took a picture and I had these orbs around me, and Noreen was like, "Huh, this guy have orbs around him. He's very spiritual," and she kind of saw that I didn't know what it was. I was like, it's an orb, So she was like, let me enlighten him. And she, what, you messaged me or you made a comment, and we just started chit chatting, and here we are now. But I could say, oh, okay, just and let it go. She could have just said, oh, we have orbs, and just let it go. But we just said yes. I said yes to her. She said yes to her, intuition to reach out to me, and here we are now. And we've just been chatting it up, laughing and talking. Time fly when we talk, on the phone and stuff like that. And it's been a beautiful thing. And we always say this all the time. Now watch the expression on her face. We always say, it haven't even been a month yet. And it's like we've been knowing each other forever. So, it's the reason why, just go investigate the reason instead of analyzing the hell out of it, just, investigate it. um, and also her dog that looked like he can eat me up. She says he's a very sweet dog.
Aww, it's a
Just
gorgeous German Shepherd.
yeah, yeah, he's very sweet dog. He looked like a distinguished, dog, for that look. And Andrea said, yes, I am a Chanel for source.
Channel.
Channel for source. Oh, I got you, girl. Channel
I got your
for,
order correct.
yeah. But he said, I'm a channel for source. Yeah. All of us are like, if we allow ourselves to be, we have a choice to ignore it. We have that choice to ignore it. Master Cho talks about that. He said that we're like funnels that source can funnel through us, energy, and awaken a chakras in us and help grow that if we allow it. It's up to us. We can be that funnel. Even when you have that yuck inside of you, that you get enough energy and meditation coming through you. It's just like having a pipe that has mud in it. You hook it up to a fire hose, and it's one hell of a hose, hook up the source, and it'll push the mud straight through the pipe and clean it out. And that's why a
Yes.
lot of times when people come out of meditation, they feel light. They feel, oh, I feel good. I feel light. I feel, like that. It just channeled their energy through and flushed out a lot of the BS that we allow, we have a track to us. And also, she said everything is interesting. But boundaries and setting them huge. Yeah, you can set those boundaries. You can
Yes.
step into your power and set boundaries. It's amazing
And
things that
ask
you can do.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, asking is giving. And like Tony said, but
Yes.
ask intelligently. you
Yes.
know.
And boundaries are very important because I know when I open up to my medium abilities,
Hmm.
I would, just like my cousin, I was getting it from every which angle. I would be sitting in my living room during family time and I like, oh, I smell cigarette smoke. Oh, this one wants to talk to me. Or I'm in the middle of a class and they want to talk to me. And there was like no boundaries. And then I'm like, wait a second. I'm the queen of my castle. stand up in your own light and say, this is my boundaries. And I'll just sometimes say, look, this is my family time. I'm off duty, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why Andrea said that, she's channeling, I believe, is because she showing that I'm facing losing my left colon. She's facing losing
Large
that,
colon.
large colon, and she said left side. I'm speaking of here, left side. Intestine. So a lot of
Well,
times,
colon. So ask. I'm going to address what Andrea is saying. Colon is related, obviously, to release of what no longer serves you, the bullshit, right? Everything passes through the colon, and I know because my older son, who you saw draping over my healing table a few minutes ago, he actually has Crohn's disease, which also affects his colon greatly as well. And a lot of it has to do with internal stress and internalizing all that stress. It goes to the
mhm,
gut, literally, and letting go of the crap in your life. So ask yourself, where is it that you're still holding on to so much crap? Where are you still holding on to so much that is toxic in your body? Because that's what
mhm.
your body is telling you. You're holding on to too much toxicity in your life, that you're not letting that go or allowing yourself to let that go.
And a lot of the times we hold on to things by trying to play tough, trying to play brave. That's why a lot of men end up having colon cancer or colon issues and stuff like that because we've been taught to suck it up. You're a man. You don't supposed to cry. You don't supposed to have any emotions and stuff like that. Which is total bullshit. And they suck it up. And what you do is you store that energy somewhere in your body. A lot of times we store energy of resentment and stuff. We put it in our back and wondering why our back is hurting. And it could be because that this person is or in our neck. You ever heard of pain in the neck? This person a
Mm-hmm.
pain in the neck, and you have that pain up there. You feel that pain in your neck. You're always going like that, and or in your back. Or like I learned with Noreen about resentment. How you can store it in your liver you know.
Yes,
So
anger is definitely stored in the liver. There's no
yeah,
question
anger.
about that.
Yeah, anger. You can store it in the liver. So um, we take this energy and we place it in places in our body because we don't want to deal with it, or we've been told to just, you can't just express it out. You got to just be brave and hold it in.
Suck it up, right? Walk it
Yeah,
off.
and that's one of the beauty of crying. Because a crying is a release. It's letting it
Yes.
go. Sometimes people cry and then they feel lighter after they cry. You ever cried, before and you just feel lighter. It's like,
Yes.
I let it out. That energy, you release that energy instead of sticking it somewhere in your body. That's it. We all energy, and this body is a big storage of energy, like a big battery. You know, holding that energy, and we can store it in different places. Said
Absolutely.
absolutely, right there, absolutely. Then she said, energy that I pick up on that is not mine that I have tried to heal. Yeah, we pick up on other people's stuff too. You ever had someone call you about something? I like the way Master Cho said they do a energetic throw up on you. They throw up on you. They throw their energy up on you. They talk about their problems and their relationships and their marriage with or whatever it is. They constantly throw up on you. I have done that to Noreen, by the way. I have thrown up on her. I mean, I have just got on the phone and she's like, cut this shit out. I just put on this clean shirt. But seriously, we throw up on people, and you ever notice that that person walk away feeling like, thank you, I really appreciate it, and they walk away feeling light, and you walk away feeling like, oh, oh man, I gotta take a nap. You feel so heavy. So I apologize for that, Nori. I'm sorry. But
I'm going
you
to give you
feel
a
heavy.
secret to that, actually. And
Okay.
Andrea, as far as what you were just saying about feeling drained, and it's because you are an empath, and empaths have an ability to sense other people's emotions, and we feel empathic about it. We can sometimes even empathically feel their illnesses and their and where they might feel sick or where they might be injured. So we as empaths, we just generally just want to heal the world. We just want to make the world a better place. We want to make everyone feel good. It's just our nurturing ability um, to want to do that.
Hmm.
And people think it's like, wow, this is such a curse that I can feel these things. I mean, just like I was feeling Mother Earth and feeling sick for a couple months, that was no fun, let me tell you. But there is a way to control that. And one of the greatest analogies I give my clients is that be the lighthouse, meaning that a lighthouse does not go jumping into the ocean to, bring the ships ashore, and it doesn't shriek in fear every time a storm comes by. A lighthouse is firmly grounded and does nothing but shine its light. You can observe what's going on without absorbing it. So, for those who are empaths and listening to this, remember you can observe without absorbing, and that's what makes it your superpower, because you can relate to somebody. You can empathically understand them. You can empathically hear where they're coming from because you feel it, but you don't have to absorb it. So, if you imagine yourself almost like a faucet, if you
Hmm.
turn the faucet on and all the water is pouring out, can you stuff something up there? Can you like take a rock and stuff the rock up there?
No.
No, because the water is pouring outwards. And it's the same thing when you're empathically empowered.
Hmm.
You are recognizing that you are the light, and the light only goes outwards. It cannot suck in the junk. So allow yourselves to be an empowered empath. Observe without absorbing. And that's what makes you a superhuman empath.
Okay. Mary Ann says she was talking about earlier about, oh boy, this is not good, about throwing. I'm sure, I assume she was talking about how people just throw up on you, you know. But Andrea says that, but I'm realizing it now and learning how to be my divine self and
Good girl.
heal differently. Yeah, yeah. You got to set those boundaries. Like, wait, 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 wait. I have to walk away from this. I'm not taking this shit with me, and when we spoke about crying, she said, "Yes, I need to cry out, and the past and let it go." Yeah. Sometimes, this is something you can do too. You may have to go somewhere, like if you have a basement or somewhere that you can do this without someone thinking you crazy, or like in a garage or something. If you have neighbors close to you, don't do it. Go somewhere like in the country. Go somewhere like if you can go to like a countryside where there's no one around. Go to a cheap place. Don't use your stuff at home. Go to a cheap place like a dollar store or something like that, and buy some plates, some glass plates. Buy like $10 worth of glass plates. Take those plates now. If you have a concrete unfinished basement or an unfinished garage, um,
A
take those glass
driveway.
plates.
That works too.
Yeah,
I've
and
done this before.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You take those glass plates. They're cheap. They're cheap. And for every plate, you yell out what you're letting go. I'm done with this shit. I'm through with this. Blah blah blah. And then you throw it and allow it to break. It will free your soul. You know what I mean? And you allow it to break. Because you're transmuting that energy into that plate, and you're throwing that plate against the wall, against the rock, against something, and allowing it to break without the thought of saying, that was the expensive china. What the fuck is doing? But it's a dollar store, play, it's a $10 investment that you're doing for your life, But that's a technique that you can use, and you can just let go of the bullshit in a physical way that help you spiritually. When you can't just spiritually, I'm not there yet to let go spiritually. I need something to throw, and it's good exercise too. It's
It
therapeutic.
is. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's for people of all ages. because I know a couple of years ago when we were moving out of our house, and my
Mm,
kids were very, very angry and upset about leaving the house, parents divorcing, and so forth. And I had this big garage sale to get rid of all the stuff, and I had a whole box of flower vases that I couldn't get rid of, and one accidentally broke, and then the kids caught on to that, and they literally put out a old tablecloth on the driveway and started to smash the old vases. And
mm-hmm.
that's what helped them release a lot of their fear and their tension and their anger of what was going on in their life at the time.
Yep. So, you got a friend in me. Pretty much. She said, ha ha, lighthouse, perfect. Okay, that's it. We're destined to connect ASAP. You know? So definitely, it's the
Yes.
reason why you on this channel. It's the reason why you're curious about it. It's the reason why you all this shit going on Facebook, and then you tiptoeing over here. It's the reason why you being divinely led. Now you can dismiss it, and then they'll just do another route. But it's you're led. Accept it. She says, but by going through this training, we become masters. Yeah, yeah.
We are
You learn.
ascending masters.
Yeah, yeah. We learn on the job.
Yes.
It's no manual that It's I always say this, that the universe, how we've been taught is to read the lesson, study the lesson, take we study the lesson and then we take the test. The game is not like that. You take the test and you learn the lesson. Like her test was she was feeling like shit, you know, and she was trying to figure it out. And then she realized, okay, this happened to do with earthquakes and Mother Nature is talking to me. And then she said, okay, let's have a come to Jesus meeting, Mother Nature. You do not have to constantly, grab me on the inside and twist me all over like that. That I'm using all that essential oil in the background. And
Yes.
she's a essential oil dealer. If you're looking for essential oil, she can, she's an essential oil dealer. She can work with you. But she was like, "Look, you just give me just a little zine. That's all. That's all. It don't. It's like your neighbor that pound hard on your door. He just have those heavy hands. Like, look, there's a button right there that you can just ring that button one time. They call doorbell. The doorbell one time, just one time. I got you. You don't have to bam, 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 bam. And that's what she was saying. You can stand in your power and speak back to it and say, look, I work better like this. Okay. But the whole point was to get your attention. And she got her
Yes.
attention.
And that's what the awakening is all about. It's getting your attention. It's shaking you out of bed. It's giving you opportunities. Saying, look, you don't have to live in this world anymore.
Hmm.
There's a whole other world that you got going on the inside. And now we're waking up so that you can see all that you got going on here, all this potential, all this divineness. You got intuition, you got abilities.
Yeah, you have all these tools in this toolbox. And then when you have this awakening, it's basically unlocking the toolbox. Now, then you have to
Yes,
constantly, you have to go, oh, this is the hammer. How does this hammer work? This hammer, how does it work? And then they guide you to how the hammer work by way of people like Noreen to show up in your life, me, different folks that show up in your life. This is what's happening to me because sources like Lance is a little slow. So let's get some people to talk to him because yeah, he got to do the work and he wants to do the work, but he's slow. Oh my God. So let him go and let me activate Noreen to see these orbs. And, they set up these serendipity moments to see these orbs and then they connect and he's going to throw up on her energetically. She's going to clean him up and this and that. And then I'm going to send him to this person, that person as well. Like Laura Wells. That's another person that she
yes.
sent me to. And a lot of people actually. And she says, where it is. Lance, dollar store. Yes. Andrea, don't go break your good shit. You go to the dollar store. So when you throwing it and feeling good, you don't walk away saying, I just threw away my china. What the fuck was that? And then you just put that energy right back inside of you. You stored it right back inside of you. Get some cheap stuff. And
And you know
also,
what?
yes, she's right about this, Noreen. You have to be consciously safe and get a glass of
Gosh
goggles.
goggles. There you go.
But she didn't know this, and a lot of people don't. She said, "I didn't know I was an empath until she came to this channel." You see how you connected? You connected with me, came to this channel, and then me and Noreen, we just did this on the fly today. We spoke, we talked like, what? Let's do it live and let's speak on what subject you wanted to speak on, and she spoke on that subject, and boom, we're here. She said,
And Andrea,
she
there's
didn't know.
so much to learn about being an empath. And I am
Mm,
so happy to connect with you and help you better understand this superpower that you had and let you know that it's not a curse. This is an amazing ability that you are actually awakening it to. So, and it's so for me, I find it so rewarding to see people awaken. And I've been teaching people spiritual development, and now I'm teaching leaders to be leaders. And when I have my students come back to me 5 years, 10 years later, and now they're stepping into their power and they're telling me what they're doing to help other people, it's like, oh my God, and the garden just grew. Like all these seeds were planted, and now I'm watching the garden blossom, and it is the most amazing thing, which is why I so believe that the awakened soul is the greatest gift to this world. I
yeah,
truly believe that. The awakened soul is the greatest gift to this world. By waking up, by listening to your own internal clock, you are stepping into your power. And
hmm
then you can pass it on to somebody else and to somebody else. And it's like a smile or a laugh. You're sharing goodness. You're sharing something so amazing. You are lighting up the world
yeah.
just by being who you are.
Yeah,
Authentic.
Marianne says thank you. She says thank you, Marianne. I keep saying her name. Marianne. Says thank you. Andrea says it's very important to be grateful for everything, yes, that ever happened. Because it's all working together for your good when you allow
Yes.
it to. When you allow it to. Whatever happened and happens, it is happening for us, not to us. It's happening for your
That's right.
higher good, but we have been so trained that if it don't happen the way that we already figured it out that it's supposed to happen, well then it's fucked up. It's all bad. And that's not true. It's not true. It's when you get tapped into this higher source, one thing I know, one rule that they go by is they go by truth. There's no bullshit in this realm. It's all
Yes.
truth. Now, the truth may break your heart, but it's truth. You know, the truth may excite you. It may well, but it's truth. It's divine truth that they lead you to. It's not falsehood. It's no bag over the head type of deal. You know, it's all truth. That's what I love about. That's one of my main things is down this road you led. When you hear those inner voices speak to you, they're telling you the truth. Now you can get into your ego and say no, or whatever, but it's telling you the truth, and then you can fight it as long as you want. But eventually it still speaks. The truth still comes out. And you're like,
And you
damn.
can tell what's truth and what's not, especially
Yeah.
the empaths, because they can feel it. The empaths can feel what's true and what's not true. Because I
Yeah.
have been tricked many times over. I've been tested, and there have been some really unfriendly souls that try connecting with me. And it's like the bullshit, detector goes up because empaths have this built-in bullshit detector, and rely on that and focus on that as because that's going to tell you and guide you to what is true and what's not because we empaths can feel everything.
hmm
So honing in on that skill and making that your superpower is so important. Right, Marianne?
That's right. So you're right. That's right. Our dog knows the truth. And that's the only thing gonna keep you from getting bit.
And
I'm
that's
just
why
playing. I'm just
people will
playing.
trust their dogs and the dog's intuition over our
Yep.
human. If someone walks into the house and the dog doesn't like the person, most likely the owner is going to say, what's going on with this person, right?
Yeah, it's a good bullshit detector. Like what kind of energy you bringing in my home? Even the dog is like,
Mhm.
"Rrr," like, or the dog kind of getting away from you, like, "Oh, I don't. And usually dogs are nosy. They're like, who are you? And when they,
But why is that dog doing that? What is that
yeah,
dog sensing? Because the
hmm,
dog doesn't have judgment. The dog
yeah,
is just knows what is right now. They just know what they're sensing. They're not thinking, oh, but this person should be good. I should be able to trust this person. And
nope,
that's what trips you up. The dog just knows what the dog knows.
yep. And she says, built-in bullshit detector. Yep. I mean, it's like, when the person talking and you're like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then they continue talking, and all of a sudden you get this beep, inside your head. Beep, like, okay, now they was telling the truth at first. Now you can feel that lie building up. And then, beep, 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 beep. Oh, I just so love him. He's such a good, wonderful man.
Mm-hmm.
And you just beeping off like, beep, 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 beep. And you're like, she's full of shit. And then later, maybe 2 years later, something all of a sudden, he just, she finally emotionally throw up on you. She's he was so a narcissist and abusive. He was verbally abusive and blah, blah. And you're like, when he got like that? Well, he always been like that. Well, 2 years ago, you was talking about like he was the next thing to God, and now he's, yeah, yeah. You find out later, yeah. She said sometimes I get tired of being the bullshit police. Baby, you're an empath. You are an empath. And you didn't know it all along. And people coming to you. Do you find yourself, Andrea or Miriam, do you find yourself people just call you for advice? Or you're minding your business and total strangers just come up to you talking to you. Just you feel just like a magnet. People just constantly drawn to you, and it makes other people jealous. They're like, "Who she thinks she is?" And and it can make haters jealous. Especially insecure people, and especially insecure women. Oh, who she thinks she is? Well, why she had to wear that dress with those heels? They just hating on you because you just attract people, men, women. You just attract them. It's because you're an empath. They feel that they're guided towards you. They don't know it. They just feel like I just need to talk to you about this. I don't know why, but I don't feel comfortable even talking to my sister about this. But I feel comfortable talking to you about this. And her and her sister are really tight, but you stand out. Yeah, yeah, you get tired of it sometimes too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Boundaries.
Mary,
It's our boundaries,
Marianne,
right?
Marianne said yes. Yeah, we gotta start. And it says the
Mary.
Empath Club. Empath Club. Bring your plates from the dollar store and your goggles. Yeah, she said she liked that the BS beep. BS beep 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 beep. Yeah, you can feel it. I mean, you can really feel it. But if you get caught up in the story of what they're saying, you can override it. You can kind of sense it. But you stay even level. You can feel that beep beep. You're like something with this story. I'm not calling you a lie. A liar. I'm just saying that I just don't believe the whole truth of what you saying. It comes.
and
It
that
shows up.
and that's so important to trust it because that empathic ability is actually your inner GPS talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust it. How many times like we just know something does not feel right? We know this person is just going to drive us up a wall. We know this person is draining the energy out of you, but maybe they're a family member or maybe they're your best friend. And the thinking mind takes over. It's like, but she's my best friend, or it's my father, or it's my mother, or my brother. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden it puts all those doubts in you. Like, I should be able to tolerate this person, but you can't. So you got to trust that instinct and intuition more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, I'd rather write books be do live events, invent major innovations, and be the hermitist. We was talking about that earlier. Remember we was talking about the hermit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's your empath. I can say that because we
Yes.
have that need to get away from everyone, just to charge up our batteries. We feel that
Mm-hmm.
call, that pull to just get away. Don't answer that phone call. Just get away. Just and that's why we like nature. We like going out in nature. We like animals.
Yes.
We have to get away from that. And that's one of the things about a hermit is that because swords have you gonna serve so many people, right? And these people can drain you. But swords want to keep you to yourself, to himself too. So he can speak to you. So you can have that relationship built up. So you can learn more about those tools in that toolbox, you know. And it does that by way of pulling you. You feel that pull to just shut yourself off from everyone. That's the hermit. If you look at tarot, the hermit card is a card about empath. It's not being a hermit for say as in never being around people, but you just feel that you need to get away at times. You
Yes.
just feel that pull to get away because the higher source, you want to call it God or whatever, want to hold you to himself so he can speak to you, show you more tools and stuff. Like for example, Noreen, the tools that every time you got to upgrade and learning more about your tools that you had in your toolbox that you didn't know, was it around a whole lot of people that you were just in a crowd at
No.
the mall, then it showed up. It's when you was alone a lot, when you just settled,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's when
Absolutely.
boom, and that's what it means by hermit. I'm gonna pull you to me so we can have this, relationship too. And
Yes.
then I'll release you back out. And then I'll pull you. Even if you a Christian and you follow Jesus, Jesus always got away from the multitude. He got away from the multitude. And he even got away from the disciples. It was 12 of them. And he really hung out with three of them. So that's one third. One fourth. He hung out with only three of them. And then he got away from them. He told them, "You stay here while I go higher." Uh,
No wonder
so
why
we have to get
Moses went
away.
on top of a mountain.
Yeah, Moses got away from these people fucking draining me. Yeah, definitely. Joshua did the same thing. So it's that's because it's just those little breadcrumbs telling you. It's the truth.
And it's
She said,
very important for the empath to do that. But you have to be discerning. So, because there are people that are your spiritual tribe. So, yes, definitely discernment. When you are first opening and awakening to your abilities, discernment is definitely key because not everyone is going to want to hear it or know about it as you are awakening. So, do connect with your tribe. I definitely suggest that you do that. And yes, is it lonely? I understand what you're saying, Andrea. I know that when I first figured out that I was an empath, I couldn't tolerate being in in crowds at all. I couldn't even tolerate being in a small room of like 10 people because I didn't know how to control my ability at the time. The thought of going to a concert or going somewhere where there was a large crowd would just completely short circuit me and overwhelm me. So, as you are getting more acquainted and with your empathic abilities, and there's so many tools and techniques that you can use and learn, and I'm happy to share them. There are so many other light workers out there who are empathic and sharing this information, but I can assure you that you're wanting to desire to be an introvert at this time, you can and will be a successful empath out in the public if you choose to.
"Yeah, you have one hell of a personality. That's what most of us empaths do. We're like magnets. We have this personality." Um, Noreen, me and her was talking earlier because she's working on a course. You want to mention about the course if you want to that you're working on. If
So the
it's a pass, it's a pass. But the course.
So what I am doing and what I already created a curriculum many years ago, and like I said, my passion is to help people awaken and heal and be empowered. And I have gone through so many awakenings myself. I have walk the talk and talk the walk, as you want to say, because everything that I share is because I've already experienced it. And I don't want people to be fumbling around with all their awakening abilities and trying to figure it out themselves. I know I didn't have anybody when I was figuring it out. And thank goodness there's so many mentors out there. So my course is to help people through their awakening process, is to help them get in touch and understand what all their individual abilities are, how to determine, are they clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient, clairsentient, are they empathic, and then how to navigate and really hone in on all the abilities they have, how to hone in on what their inner talents are and what they're bringing forward in this world, how they're going to shine that light in this world. So I teach you over time how to really connect with yourself, how to heal yourself or be guided to heal, and to also be empowered to really step into your own power and feel more confident about the awakening that you're going through, and most likely the many awakenings over the years that you're going to continue to go through as you open to new abilities. And I help people validate their abilities. I help people, be more comfortable and confident so that they understand and trust what their abilities are. So that is my joy and passion. I love helping awakening souls step into their power and to heal themselves. And if I can share that with the world, that is my greatest reward. I feel great about that. Oh, thank you.
And also, just to help you out, just a little thing to help you out. Oh, let me read this right quick. It said, thank you for that, Noreen and Lance. Definitely. And also, Andrea and anyone else that they want to understand truth and know truth, you can go back on my Facebook page, this page here, and just go through the video. It's another one of me and Noreen. And Noreen teaches us, because you have this higher self in you that knows truth, it knows all. And it's called the human pendulum. You probably heard of the pendulum, that the way it swings, it's a yes and it's a no. Noreen walks you through how to find that yes and how to find that no. Now you can use it on anything. In fact, I just play with it sometimes and ask, is this shirt red? And allow it to swing me towards the yes or the no. It's a cool thing. The more it's like, practice. The more you get used to it, the better, the quicker you can do it. Like Noreen, she can just step
Yes.
into it quick. Me, it takes a minute. But I'm getting better at it. It's you can use it like this fruit is going to be the best fruit for me. While you're in the produce section, and you can, when you get better at it, you can get yourself still and relaxed, and you can swing the way it's not like this, but you can swing the way that it's telling you yes and telling you no. you
Yes, it's just another tool to empower you. It's a tool so that you can start validating and trusting that inner intuition, that inner GPS. So, you shouldn't have to go out there and trust everything that's being fed to you in the news or by other people or what's coming at you. The whole point is trust what's in here. You
hmm
have all this power on the inside.
yeah. And so she asked me, is on my personal Facebook page? No, it's on my business Facebook page. You can just go to at I am Lance Brooks. Just that little at sign, that they have, that little A with the little circle, at I am Lance Brooks, and just click on that. It'll take you straight to it, and you'll find me and Noreen again, and she actually walk us through truth. How you can find the truth. You talking about a bullshit detective? know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard for her boys. She have two sons. It's hard for them to get away with anything, so she needs to find out the truth. Like shit, I might as well tell my mom the truth because she gonna find out.
I do think it's cute when they do try to lie to me, and I'm like, really? You gonna try that on me? Really?
Teenagers.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, teenagers. But so definitely, you can find out that, and that's just some ways to start the relationship with yourself. Just to have that. That's one door to walk in and check. And that's why we do these lives. Like, Doreen's creating, that course so she can help people so they don't have to go through the pain that they went through. That's why I'm creating I call it my jog vlog, VLOG,
Yes, I love
the
yours.
jog vlog, because I'm out on the jog and then Source just speaks to me and then I share it. Yes, yes, I am LanceBrooks.com. I mean, I am Lance Brooks. Yep. That's it, baby. You know, and but
And watch Lance
and it's
every
just it.
morning. He is amazing inspiration. I actually go to my phone in the morning and look for him. I'm like, okay, what's my morning inspiration today?
And I promise you, I mean, I haven't scripted anything. I mean, you see me with the phone, and I show your nature, so there's no studio team running, behind the back, the background and holding cue cards and stuff like that. This is just straight truth and it's straight downloads. I call it downloads from source to say, share this, give this to the people, do
Yes.
that, do this. So why don't, and I plan on forming a community of us in a private Facebook page, a private community that we can all be together on this, and lift each other up. Um, um, Marianne says, I just took a nap of
Snap of
that.
that?
A snap for that. She just took a nap. Yeah, here it is again. There you go. Yeah, and that's the Biz Facebook page. I sent you guys an invite. On it. I sent the invite. Um, so and you didn't join. I'm hurt.
No, you guys definitely have to follow Lance. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So, and let's tell them about your page too. The address.
Um, I'm at Noreen, Noreen, Kalt,
Hmm.
KALT, RMT, which stands for Reiki Master Teacher.
Okay, I got you both. I got you. I'll send it to you both. Okay. You know. But yeah, it's R Noreen at. Say it again.
Noreen, Noreen, Kalt, KALT, RMT. That stands for Reiki Master Teacher.
Yeah. And she's a Reiki master. I mean, let's tell her, when we talk about tools in the tool belt, and what you have on your tool belt, and you're just starting this awakening process. Now, she's saying it's speeding up faster. It's not taking people
Yes.
longer. Now, tell us the tools that you have in your tool belt now. After all the years of growing and accepting and walking it out, she said again.
So
And then she's gonna say her Facebook page again. So go ahead.
I am a Reiki Master Teacher in both Usui and Karuna Reiki, a reconnective healer, which basically means that I help people reconnect their DNA strands from their outer bodies and their higher self into their local bodies. I am also a master coach, spiritual coach, relationship coach, twin flame coach, even financial planning coach. Um, I'm also a reflexology. I do cranial sacral work, essential oil therapy, crystal therapy. I'm a channeler, a medium, a medical intuitive. And I also do something called light warrior work. So I call that AKA ghost busting and removing attachment, closing portals, house blessings, and clearing out of homes and businesses. And that's in addition to my employment with Mother Earth, but that's a separate issue altogether.
And then she left out that she's a mom. She
Yes,
left
and
out
I am a
that.
mom of two teenage boys and my oldest child is with special needs. So yeah, matter of fact, he has been my inspiration to do most of what I got into, because when I was told he was 4 years old and he couldn't attend kindergarten because his attention span was all of 6 seconds, I said I have got to find a way outside of medical drugs to help this child go to school and help him focus. And I did. I started with chiropractic work and then cleaning out all the toxicity in our home, and then with essential oils. And then essential oils led me to a Reiki class. And then, oh my goodness, I was so amazed with what I learned to Reiki. I'm like, I have to learn this. And it just one modality just went into, oh, and I forgot, I'm a hypnotherapist. I do
Yeah,
other past life regressions and in between life expressions. So yeah,
crystals,
I
crystals.
crystal therapy, yeah, channeling, so it's I feel like everything is just energy,
Hmm.
and it's just easy to read energy. People open a book and read a book. Some people listen to music and feel the energy in the music. I just look at the entire world and all the people in it, and I see it from the inside out. I see it from the truth. I see their auric fields and their chakras and all of their DNA and everything inside and out. Everything is just it's just energy. It's amazing when you look at the world that way.
Now, but it just didn't all of a sudden just one day she woke
Yeah.
up like that. Just say the universe said, "Okay, we're gonna have this," and here you go. It was
It did
slowly.
come very fast. And then it
Yeah.
was when I first awakened, I'll be honest with you, I was scared. I didn't understand it. I was feeling things that I couldn't figure out what I was feeling. And it's freaky. And I work in finance for 25 years. How do I explain something that's freaky happening to me of me feeling guides and talking to them, dead spirits, and still work in something as compliant and black and white as finance? It's just like I had two different worlds. I couldn't even put the worlds together. So yeah, when you come from that very rigid mindset of black and white and this is the way it is, and now all of a sudden your mind is blown open with all these abilities and you don't know how to handle it and what to do with it. I freaked out. My family freaked out. My friends made fun of me. People left my life. I'm not gonna lie. It was a tough part of my life when I awakened. But I got in touch with my inner truth. I got in touch with my own abilities, and then I realized how empowering it is that I can help other people do the same thing.
Yeah. Because me, my life has just been shaking upside down. But it's a beautiful
Yes,
thing. It's a beautiful thing.
it's
I'm
shaking up
I'm
like a little snow
excited.
globe.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. And yeah, it's just scary. Yeah, but I'm excited about it. And then meeting all these beautiful people. Like Noreen, Andrea, and Miriam.
Yay!
Yeah, definitely. So I will message you two, and so you can just click on it and like it and join, so you're in, so you won't miss anything. And then also, when I message you two, I will message you for Noreen's, so you can hop on hers and like her page as well. Okay. Uh, she started laughing at me again.
It's Marianne with an I. I'll never forget you,
Yeah,
Marianne.
Miriam, Miriam, look how dog looking at me. Let me take them off. He's looking at me. She said, "Okay."
Lance, it has been such a true
Yeah,
pleasure
yeah. It's been
connecting
wonderful.
here tonight.
It's
And
always good. It's always good to connect, and time just flies. I mean, it's been over an hour, I believe. Yep, yep, over an
so
hour.
much for that 30 minutes, huh?
Yep. We tried to keep it down, but hey, giving more value. That's why I said give you
That's
more
right.
value than what you thought. Like those jogs in the morning time. I said, okay, 15 minutes. Yeah, really. But I do say like 15 minutes, no more than 20, something like that. When I started, I didn't have no intentions, but I want to make sure everyone is served. So, and there you go. Andrea said, thank you so much. Thank you both so
Thank
much.
you.
Yep, yep, definitely. Yep, definitely. And Marianne, I apologize. And when I go on my run, I do my live, I see your name, I'm calling you out to say it right. You're gonna be proud of me, girl.
Join him for his morning jog. He's got good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And join both our pages. We really appreciate it. Let's do this thing. We're here for a reason. Oh, Gail, that's my Gail. Hey, that's Gail. Yep. Yeah, man,
Aww.
Gail been around for a while. Yeah. Gail. Hello, Gail. Yeah, you're
Welcome.
welcome. You're welcome. Definitely welcome. She said, "Stop." Laughing out loud. But yeah, and thank you for being a sport about it, Marianne. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking when I was saying that. I want to make it Maria Ann for some reason, but it's Marianne right there. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, maybe that's part of dyslexia kicking in. But you guys have a great time. Noreen, thank you always. I
Thank
really
you
appreciate it.
so much.
You guys, the jog vlog is coming. Noreen, course,
Gotcha.
what's the name of your course?
I have not decided yet.
Okay, well her course is coming. We'll announce it when she do. We'll drag her back on so we can announce it. Okay. All right, you guys stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep striving for greatness. Okay. All right. Have a
Absolutely.
good night.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Good night.